Welcome to British and American infantry uniforms from the years. Starting off with the transition era, we have pattern 48 webbing. Now most people will be familiar with P58, the old one in PLC. This is basically after that when they were transitioning to the SA80. Now what's fascinating is they'd have this shrapnel type body armor. It was meant to be bulletproof, but it wasn't. And basically it would be a vest, and they would just put simply that. I don't know why they'd have one useless pocket if they put weapon over it. That's that, but just DPM. They didn't have a DPM version of pattern 48. Now, early British PLC. This is basically just when they transitioned to PLC webbing from Type 58. I was going to get Type 58, but it's too many slots. And yeah, it's very nice, very fancy, very good. Personally, one of my favourite webbings. Haven't used it before, but is that button DPM? Now this is late British PLC with a modular headset, standard screw. Don't even do it. Good boy. Anyway, and that. Now I've not really swapped any DPMs because it's hard to find different variations of DPMs this game. They don't look like absolute ass. And then we move to just the desert variation. It's a bit more modern, like a rack era, I would say. Then 1999 branch modernization, which saw OPS vest, which was like PLC but in vest form, and a bit of body armor underneath that with the ECBA, and a Bergen, an old Mark 6 with an NVG mount and PLC this time. That's that, but with the new and improved Iraq uniform. It was during the time where people saw more raid mods coming in, so they would have a simple, sleek fabric there. Now, I ignore that. And then we've got to Iraq British. It moves over to the modern Marines that we would have. Very nice. Basically I know I'd have to do this. CT Commander Body Armor something, and it would just be an approved version. For some reason, the Marines would always use standard multicam instead of the MTP. I don't know, maybe they just preferred it. I have no idea. Moving on to the Americans, early Amerima. M1968 webbing, which was like the early version of PLC, which came to be famous. ERDLM1, and slowly integrating early M81 systems. Still early Amerima, which is basically when they included Alice webbing, which is the famous one. That stands for all ass. I don't know actually. Comes with this little backpack, very nice. So this is one of my favourites and most iconic, SWGG goggles. When they integrated the personal armour group for ground systems, which is personal armour system for ground troops, yeah, PSGT. And this came with a vest, which was meant to be a flak vest, but it turns out it could end up stopping bullets, which is why they obviously tried doing that after. And it was came with Alice webbing. I gave aviators. That's not what you meant to wear, but it looks cool. Gulf War, they would have some. This is the new camera, DBDU. Actually, not new. It was made in 1974, but it was when it was used. And they'd have some DBDU, which was also commonly dubbed by soldiers Choco Chip Camo or Cookie Dough, which is one of the less famous ones. And yeah, but most troops just had M81 vest. Nothing much. Now this is Operation Gothic Serpent from the famous movie Black Hawk Down. They'd still have the Choco Chip camo helmets, but RBA body armor. I know this isn't infantry, it's Ranger body armor because it's the Rangers, but I will include some famous operations. Very, very nice body armor, and a ANPVS 6 with a single nod for some reason instead of two. I don't know, maybe snapped it off. This one's an interesting one. So this is T-Mount, which was the Urban Warrior operation, and this was to try and find a different urban camo. This is one of the experimental ones. I've been obsessed with experimental 90s stuff recently. and it's basically just a T pattern, so I called it that, and it's meant to be urban. Now they did have the SWAT vest. I forgot the actual name of this that many agencies use. I couldn't find one without front pouches, so I kind of just, you know, left it. But they would basically just slap Alice Weapon over this, and it would be a good day. This is the AN PVS 14, made in 1999. Probably what they tested out. I don't know. I wasn't there. This was DCU modernization. I can't even say it or spell it. That's why I just went nuts on my keyboard. And this was just the Iraq War. Now they did have PASGT helmets, and there was an error before because instead of fighting in the desert, they thought they'd be fighting Soviets instead. So they would have M81. So they came to a desert area with M81 camo. Not their fault, but you know. And then, but I just added the ACH because that's what they would have had, so hydration pack. And the new and improved IBA body armor, which was interceptor multi-threat body armor basically, and it's very sweet. It was introduced in the 90s, but used then, and it has a 499 tan belt. Now it isn't actually called DCU camo, that's just what it's known as, because DCU stands for Desert Combat Uniform even, and it could be in any camo if they wanted to make it. The actual name is Tri-Desert Color. Moving on, the worst camo in the world, UCP, using the IOTV vest, which was a very nice integration with the. It came with a. What am I doing with my life? It came with a groin area one. There we go. It would basically come as that. Very nice. Very good body armor. As I say, they're very crap. Camo. The Space Force, in my opinion, should have used it. They'd probably blend in with the moon. I don't know who this Arabic person is. Oh yeah, moving on. We have modern US Army. Now, this is when they made the IHPS helmets. Now, I'm actually loving the newer helmets, is because they actually went to like full cut helmets again, because there was a fascination with high cut in like 2005, and now they just went back to full cut. Lovely thing about this helmet is I love how, like, looks like it should belong in that SCP Foundation for like special unit something. It's so futuristic looking, like it's got a half cut Mitch 2002 looking ear protection, and this is when the army started taking ear protection quite serious, so I added some tapcoms. They used the MSV vest, which was just for the US military, introduced in 2018, and a nice tactical bag. Protective glasses, and I couldn't really find a belt that they'd wear, so I just typed in OCP and called it a day. Yeah.